If I had to start learning Python from the scratch with knowing everything I know now, this is how I would approach it to make my learning more seamless and beautiful. So first, I would spend the first day or the second day to really understand why I want to learn Python, why I'm choosing Python over other programming languages like JavaScript, Java, PHP. Understanding the why would really help me structure my learning paths, and not just knowing the why, but also understanding what the language is all about, who created it, and different fields that the language thrives in would really help me a lot. Now, once I'm done understanding the why and about the programming language, the next thing I would do is to set up my laptop for Python coding. And this is where I would have to install Python, install VS Code, and add an interpreter and do some other things, or set up my laptop or my PC for me to code in Python. And once my laptop has been configured to code in Python, I can jump in and start learning how to code and build how to code in Python. So I have a list of basics written down on my phone, so permits me to read the concept from my phone. So first up, I would start learning about data types and variables in Python, especially if Python is my very first language. I would want to know what those things are. So I would have to learn data types and variables, basic operators, or rather basic maths operators, taking user inputs and printing out the user input or printing out an output, conditionals, if statement, else statement, elif, loops, loop control statements like breaks, like continue, like pass, functions, modules, lists, tuples, dictionaries, and how to handle errors by using the try except, or by using some Python error handlers. So these are the basics that I would focus on for me to get a foundational knowledge of Python and how to use Python in or how to code in Python. So the next is how I would want to learn. Now, some people love learning with videos, some love learning with articles, some learn with both. So I would have to identify what I learn best with. And so if it's videos, I would look up YouTube and check out playlist by Corey Schaefer, Programming with Mosh, or Tech with Tim. Or currently, I have a playlist that covers the basics in Python, and I pick one of the videos and I double down on that, because on YouTube there are so many videos that talks about the basics of Python. And if I learn best with articles, I would have to look for written content or written courses about the basics of Python, and there are some by Free Code Camp and some other Free Code Camp, Code Academy, and some other platforms. So I would be linking all the description. I will be linking all the links to the written and video contents that I'll be talking about in this video in the video description. So when I get my how I would learn, I would double down on that, and I would use that to learn. Now, when I am learning either video or articles, I would try to split my screen into two. So one part would have the video tutorial and the second part will have my code editor. And whenever I read the concept and the example, I would try to try out the examples on my own. And the same goes with the video guides. So the video guides would be on one end and the code editor would be on the other end, where I try to try the examples in those guides. And as I continue learning the basics, and as I continue practicing along the written or the video guide, the next thing or another thing or an additional thing that I would do would be to use AI to come up with some practice questions. So I can use AI to either explain the concepts that I really do not fully understand in the article or the video by breaking it down to the level I would understand it, or use AI to come up with practice questions that will help me solidify my knowledge in the basics of Python. Once I am done with understanding the basics of Python, I have gone through the basics. That's the list I shared earlier. The next thing I would do would be to build projects. So I would look out for project ideas that has to do with the basics of Python. This is another way that I would actually use AI, by asking it to give me project idea based on the basics. And I will not really ask, no, I will not ask the AI to generate the solution. Instead, I would just ask AI to give me the ideas, and I would try to implement it and show the AI my solution and see if I may have missed anything or how good I did with that. So by building more projects, you will definitely learn more about the concepts, because one thing about coding is that the more you build projects, the more you understand it better. Now, once I have built a couple of projects, let's say 4 to 5 projects, I am confident in the projects I built. I understand the basics of Python. I can now use the basics that I learned in a project. I would move up to the advanced concepts in Python that I should learn about, and I have the list on my phone, so I'll be reading the list from my phone. And the advanced concepts include OOPs, which are object-oriented programming, and in this we have classes, we have objects, we have inheritance. So these are like advanced Python basics that you would need. So when I learn about OOPs, I would learn about how to handle files and some other advanced concepts in Python. And after I learn this, I would still have to build projects as I learn, and I can either decide to learn with articles or with guides. But just know that as you are learning, it's best to be building projects as you are learning. This would really help you in your journey. And once you are done learning, you have understood the basics, you have built projects around the basics, you've understood the advanced, you've built projects around the advanced Python concept. Next up, it's for you to pick a niche and double down on that, or for you to lock in a particular niche. Now, Python thrives in a lot of fields like DevOps, like data analysis or data science, AI and machine learning, backend development, integrating with Raspberry Pi, or automation. So you will need to know what you want to what niche that you want to learn further. You pick a niche and then you double down on that. So if you are leaning towards web development, which I lean towards, the first thing I would do is to learn more about Flask, how to build projects using Flask, things about Flask sessions, how to create an authentication system using Flask. So the next thing I will do is to learn about Django, how to use Django to build backend servers, how to use Django to build web applications. And once I have built projects on Flask and Django, then lastly I will dabble, build a few projects on Fast API, or learn a thing or two on Fast API by building REST APIs. Once I now know how to build projects, or once I have built projects using Flask or Django or Fast API, the next thing would be for me to collaborate with a front-end developer. I can join the community where I would learn more and where I would get to collaborate with people more. If looking for a community is a bit difficult for you, there are so many online communities that you can join on Reddit, on Discord, on LinkedIn, or on X. And I genuinely feel that joining a community as you learn would really take you learning from year to year, because you get to be surrounded by people that are learning just like you, people that are facing the same challenges and same issues that you face as well. And then another thing, last but not the least, would be to still use AI to come up with ideas on projects I can build around Flask and Django and Fast API, and topics to or concepts that I can learn on these frameworks. If web development is not your forte or your niche, you can decide to learn any other niche that I mentioned earlier. So this is what I genuinely would have done if I had to start learning Python from the scratch all over again, because my learning was really chaotic. I consumed every single thing I came across. I did not really have a structured roadmap. I did not really have a structured guide. So and to be honest, I really did not learn I as I should. So this is how I would learn. If this video was really helpful to you, do also like and comment so that this video reaches any other person that's currently learning Python. And you can also subscribe to my channel. I make Python content, and I have a playlist on Python basics, and I'm currently working on a series on learning Flask as a new developer. So thank you for watching. Until the next video, have a great day, have fun coding. Bye.